Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And if you are returning to the channel, welcome back. This video is going to be going over what I've been up to over the past year where I haven't been creating too much content on YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, I'm going to be talking about more in-depth details of how I started my brand and a good behind-the-scenes look at everything that we've had going on from a company standpoint. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's just get right into it. So I've been creating content for the past 4 years or so on YouTube on video games. I've always been a super creative person, and I felt like that was the best outlet for my creativity. And in January of this year, I started getting into a little bit more fashion and was in Paris with my wife just on vacation, and it really sparked another interest that I wanted to pursue, which was fashion, right? And so after that trip, I started looking into how to start a company, how to get into fashion, how to get it produced, manufactured, designed, all of that stuff. And I did that for about 2 weeks, just researching everything that I wanted to do and how to do it. And then I spent another 2 weeks on actually implementing it and creating the company. So the company that I created is called Innovative Inc., and it's the parent company for multiple e-commerce apparel and shoe brands, one of them being MLO Shoes. You guys can see the link to it in the description below. It's MLO.shoes. And the other one is a streetwear apparel brand called introvertedextrovert.co. You guys may have seen our ads around. If you have, drop a comment down below letting me know, because that means we're actually reaching you guys. So Introverted Extrovert, though, is also linked in the description below. It's introvertedextrovert.co. And yeah, so today I'm going to tell you guys how I started it, where we're at today, numbers and some different obstacles that we've actually had to overcome with our company. So I started off with the shoe brand, and basically what I was doing was I was reaching out to manufacturers, reaching out to vendors, trying to figure out what it takes to actually make shoes, because there's a lot of people out there that make apparel brands. I think it's very easy. There's a lot of services out there that do it already, but there's not necessarily something that does it with shoes. And I've been kind of a sneakerhead for a bit now. I'm super into fashion as well. So I was like, okay, well, let me just learn a little bit more about what it takes to actually start producing shoes. And so what I found out was there's about 97% of shoes in America are all manufactured outside the US. The other 3% is like work shoes, and that's it. So if you're trying to manufacture shoes, you're going outside of the US to actually get them manufactured and made. And so when I started reaching out to different manufacturers, I got in touch with a couple of different ones that had designs already created, and I didn't want to start using those designs that they already had because I didn't own the rights to them. So what I did was I started by creating a design off of those designs that just made it my own. However, the problem is that is that there are other companies that have come in now and started trying to use my designs, which it doesn't really work out too well for them, because I do have a very good legal team that is able to let them know, like, hey, these are actually our designs, even though this manufacturer has them available for other people to use. It's not it's not the case, because other countries have different copyright laws than we do, and you just can't use our designs. That's just how it is, right? So get yourself a good legal team, because that makes all of the difference in the world. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really have a whole lot of upfront capital to buy all of these products and store them at a US warehouse. So what's the alternative that I can do to get started? I want to sell my designs. I want to see if they're even working first. I want to see if people react to them in a positive way before I really invest a whole bunch of money into this, because again, I was just kind of dipping my toes in the water and testing things out and feeling out how I wanted to really approach this, and if I wanted to fully pursue this, if I thought it was something that I really enjoyed, right? And so the manufacturer was like, well, we can send the shoes directly to the consumer, which is this sort of process called drop shipping. You guys may have heard of it on YouTube already, but basically drop shipping means that you're sending it straight from the manufacturer to the consumer, and that's the act of drop shipping. So I was like, okay, well, let's do that. So I started creating a website, I started creating the brand and everything around what I was doing already. And that took another like 2 weeks or so of just like 15, 16-hour days just developing the website. The nice thing about all of this though, with creating the website, creating the advertisements and all of the graphics for the company and the brand, was that I've already been doing a lot of this through YouTubing. So I know how to use like Photoshop. I know how to start a website. I know how to, connect the URLs and all of that like technical aspects of it. So that all came really easy. And I was like, okay, this is, a lot of stuff that goes into this is knowledge that I already have. So I was really focusing on learning the pieces that I didn't know yet, of course. So we started drop shipping. We started sending out products directly to the customers. But what happened was we started in March. We launched our website and brand in March. And if you guys don't know, that was at the heat of the global pandemic, COVID-19. And all of the shipping couriers were shutting down. The packages were just getting like clogged up. Commercial airlines weren't flying. Commercial airlines are typically what you send something called an e-packet on, and if there's no commercial airlines flying overseas or to different countries, then those packets that are called e-packets that carry your products in it, they're not getting sent out. So what happened was we started selling, people were loving our products, but it was taking almost, in some severe cases, 3 months to actually get the product to the customer, which was absolutely unacceptable. We ended up having to refund like hundreds of thousands of dollars in products that were still getting there eventually. But I just was like, 3 months is super unacceptable. A month is unacceptable. And we just had to overcome this by taking a huge hit to our revenue, to our profit by refunding these people, right? So I knew we had to do that, but then I knew that we also needed to do something else to give back. So I've always, on YouTube, I've always taken whatever success, whatever you guys want to call it, I've always wanted to give back. So as soon as I have more of something, I'm not greedy. I want to give it back as much as possible. So I've always donated to, cancer research with No Shave November. I've done promotions like that for donating back to prostate cancer awareness. I've done promotions for breast cancer awareness, which is actually this month now as well. And I've always given back as much as I possibly can. So I wanted to bring that same type of foundation, same type of like morals into my brand as well. And so we started giving back to the CDC Response Fund in order to provide healthcare workers on the front lines of the pandemic with the equipment that they need to stay safe and treat patients that might have them, test patients that might have the virus as well in a safe manner. And so I started doing that. We've donated like thousands of dollars to different foundations for that cause. And as a company that started during a global pandemic, it just made sense to do that. But kind of taking a step back a little bit to, again, sort of our process as a company. So after we started realizing that we had an issue with shipping, we wanted to figure out how to fix that issue as quick as possible. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to send products from the manufacturer to our warehouse that we had to get in the US, a domestic-based warehouse. And that required upfront capital, which we did have a little bit of capital from the company in making some money. But again, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on refunds. So it wasn't like something that we had just readily available. I was letting my some business partners know about what I was doing, and they immediately wanted to jump on board. So we got an investment from a member of Forbes 30 Under 30. Well, we also got an investment from a previous colleague of mine that used to make, he was a streamer on Twitch and a professional gamer that I knew through that whole gaming industry. So we brought on those two investors plus another one as well, and we were able to get some upfront capital to send products to our warehouse and start that whole process. The second issue is that we couldn't keep enough products in the warehouse. We didn't have enough to buy all of the designs that we had in all of the different sizes, because shoes are actually insane with different SKUs. You have each SKU is like the design, and then it's each size within the design, and it's actually one of the hardest things to start, which is, I guess, apparently why there's not a whole lot of other like new shoe brands out there, and it's mostly just apparel, because it's a lot easier to do it that way. But anyway, so we got as much product as we could to the warehouse, but we were just running out of it very quickly. And then what happened was in June, obviously, that horrible, awful situation that kind of brought light to a lot of issues within America with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all of that kind of just, it impacted us pretty personally, because our whole company is owned by minorities. We're 100% minority owned. We have a Black angel investor. We have a Hispanic investor. We have a Korean investor, and I personally am Japanese. We wanted to start giving back to, NAACP, Legal Defense Fund, to start fighting against, social injustice and systematic racism. And so we've donated thousands of dollars to that foundation, and a portion of every sale still goes to those foundations, because everything that we do as a company, we want to have a purpose. It's one thing to just sell a bunch of shoes. It's one thing to sell designs and like have a bunch of success and make a lot of money, but it's another thing to be a company with a purpose and to give back with everything that you do. If you want to actually make a difference in the world, you have to use your voice. You have to have your influence, whether it's 100 followers on Instagram, whether it's 100 million followers on Instagram, or wherever social media you guys are on. However many people you have, if you can inspire just one other person in this world, trust me, it's going to have a positive effect. And our goal is to move the world forward and use our success, use our voice, use our community and our influence to actually move the world forward. So me being a previous YouTuber, or I guess still kind of am a YouTuber, I never wanted to take my voice for granted, right? I've always been very careful about what I've said. And of course, as I've gotten more followers and more subscribers, I've always wanted to be a little bit more careful about what I say as well, because it just has an even bigger impact. So again, as we are creating this company, we want to have that same consciousness about what we're doing and how we're actually affecting the world. And we want to be affecting the world for better. So again, to even extend on that point, for brands that we're creating in the future, we are also going to be looking into sustainable materials. We're looking at sustainable materials for our shoes and our clothing already as well, to transition our brands into that, to be a little bit more environment friendly, and working towards net zero emissions as well. So, all of these things are kind of rolled up into why I think we're different. We're just different than most brands. We have a team of executives that's just absolutely amazing. Like they have so many great ideas, but they're also passionate about what they do. We're passionate about what we do. Of course, I'm CEO, so I also have a huge say in how we operate as a company as well. But we're all trying to make the world a better place by using fashion. And so since all of this now, we've actually done about $2.5 million in sales to date, which is absolutely insane. So I appreciate everybody's support in buying our products, and I hope you guys love them as much as we do. We're always trying to be better. So if you have feedback on our products, good or bad, post them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear you guys directly, and also have a conversation with you guys about them as well. And also, if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm on Instagram. I post some of our unreleased products that we're working on in there as well, which is kind of cool. You guys get like a first sneak peek if you follow me on Instagram at Claytano. But we do have a lot more designs actually coming out in the future. These are just some prototypes of what we have coming out probably before the end of the year. We have some collaborations coming out very soon with some other cool brands. And I think you guys are just going to be super excited about everything that we have coming out in the future with partnerships, collaborations, designs, new brands, all of that good stuff. I try to post as much as I can on my Instagram to be a little bit more up to date. So if you're trying to get an insight on everything that we're doing as a company from Innovative Inc. standpoint, my page is probably the best source for that, Claytano on Instagram. If you're trying to get everything that's going on with MLO, MLO's Instagram is probably the best place for that. Also, signing up for the newsletter on the website for MLO or for Introverted Extrovert. We send out newsletters through email of projects that we have coming out in the future as well. So those are great places to get involved and stay up to date on some of those things. But honestly, like the main thing that I just want to say at the end of this video here is just that, thank you guys so much for your support. We're going to be continuing to do everything we can to make this world a better place and provide ourselves with a better tomorrow by paving the road to the better tomorrow. That's as cliche as it sounds, that really is our purpose as a company and what we want to do and how we want to be represented as brands and as a company as a whole. And all the other stuff is kind of separate. Like one of the other things is that, I've been nominated for Forbes 30 Under 30 for retail and e-commerce for 2021. I've also been nominated for some other awards like Top 100 Fashion, Apparel, and Beauty Leaders Award. And, all of that stuff is great and cool. But I think the coolest thing for me is being able to provide people with jobs when they need it the most, especially during this crazy, awful year 2020, and then also being able to give back to people that need it as well. I think that's just the most proud. That's the thing that I'm most proud of, I guess, with starting these companies, and it gives me a sense of pride to actually be a part of it and watch it grow, just like you guys are, right? So. Again, thank you guys all for your support. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be trying to do a little bit more updates and maybe some other shoe reviews, right? I don't need to just talk about MLO shoes. I could do some reviews on like other cool companies. Just drop your comments down below what you guys want to see. And if you want more updates on the company as we're moving forward, let me know as well. So anyway, aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.